Okay, fam. So if you are lost and confused as a young person, just as I was, this video is for you. So the idea is that a lot of young people, especially when you're just starting out of life from the teen years to your early 20s, you tend to be very much confused like I was. I'll use myself as a case study. We're very much confused as to whether you're progressing, you're seeing a couple of people your age doing mind-boggling things, and you're just confused. Where am I going to start from? What am I going to do? How do I get things started? You want to take your life serious, but you don't know how to take your life serious. So here is my own take on that. Given I am a young person in my early 20s and having found my path, though still working on that path, I realized that, but I'm no longer confused and all of that. I realized that many things don't really matter. I'm gonna get to that, but first of all, I want to every young person there, to every young person watching me, I would just like to say that it is okay to be confused. I mean, for the first time in your life, for most of you, the responsibility of the taking responsibility of your own life, the reality of taking responsibility of your own life begins to dawn on you, and you're like, wow, I've been in my parents' care, now I have to make decisions by myself. I have to decide what I gotta do and what not to do and stuff like that. You can be confused, mixed feelings. How can I get this? Talking about financial wise, also thinking, how can I get this thing done quickly? How can I get this stuff? How can I put this in order? Am I gonna make it financially and stuff like that? What is my part with a lot of um should I say generic jargons out there like uh, follow your passion, follow your dream, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, most of us don't even know what our passion is. We don't even have a passion. Like we can't even put a hold on it. Like this is my passion and stuff like that. So because I've been there, I can actually relate. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. As a young person starting out your own life and stuff like that, I would just like to say that the best thing to do is start from anywhere. What do I mean by start from anywhere? I don't want to leave us confused because I want everyone to have clarity at the end of this video, which is what it's all about. Start from anywhere. And what do I mean by that? If you want to learn a skill, you don't have to be passionate about it. You don't have to be passionate about anything to get it to get it done or to start off with it. If you wait till you find what you're passionate about, you might wait till you're old because most people that found their passion, they did that in the course of starting out. They were able to realize that in the course of starting out with their life, first off. Like Steve Jobs, I don't want to go into that, but you see, if you read the biography of Steve Jobs, he never had interest in tech. It was because of the lucrative competition at the time, he bumped into it, and that was how the journey began. So start from anywhere. If it means you reading books, if you are confused, like I'm gonna use myself as a case study, like I said, like me myself, I was confused actually. I was very much confused. So what did I do? How did I get myself fused back? How did I put myself in order? I began reading books. I still read books till today. In my previous video, I made us understand that I read 3 books monthly, right? So I read a lot. Without my confusion and my youthful passion, I invested in books because you don't have to have a direction. It takes one who has beat around the bush, who has beat about the bush to it takes one who has beat about the bush to master a bush. You understand? It takes one who has been confused about a path to actually master a path, because if you eventually find your way, you'll be able to direct others. So if it means you learning a skill, take that course, learn that skill. Reading a book, it might not be easy. I didn't used to love reading books. Like what I mean by books is books on life, personal development, time management, a um vast variety of books. I didn't used to love it, but in the process of it, I began to find myself. And the more I found myself, the more I loved it. The more I loved it. So it kind of helped me, okay, realize the kind of person I am, because I knew that I had some certain traits, but no one was able to tell me this is the kind of person you are. This is what this, if you usually love stuff like this, if you usually like are moved by if you're usually moved by stuff like this is the kind of, so books, especially books on psychology and stuff like that. If you would love me to talk about some of those books, you can actually uh, say that in the comment section, and I'm gonna do well to do that. So, especially books on psychology made me to begin to realize some traits that I had and some behaviors that I had, which were a telltale sign of of who I am actually, the kind of person I am, and the kind of things that can work for me. So, what am I saying in essence? Get your hands dirty as a young person. I'm not saying you should be busy doing a lot of things, because many people are busy doing nothing. Don't be caught up in that web. Don't be caught up in that web. You can be so lost in it that you are busy doing a lot of things that you are doing nothing. Be sure, be intentional. Be intentional. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it well. Do it well. If not, it will weary you. It will weary you. At the end, you jump from this to that, from that to this. So focus on one thing, not just on one thing. You can focus on a couple of things, but let it be that you are actually focused on those things. Let it be that you are actually gaining some kind of knowledge or gain from those stuffs. So don't be versatile to no end. Be intentional. Get your hands dirty as a young person. Take those courses. Read books. Listen to those podcasts. By so doing, you find yourself. You find yourself, because there's a principle of life. Because life is so mysterious that it is guided by some principles, and principles are no respecter of persons. If you understand these principles, it's going to work for you every time, any day, every other day. So there is this principle of life that talks about seed time and harvest. Seed time and harvest. So what is it about seed time and harvest? Seed time and harvest is a principle, by my own understanding of it, and having read a couple of books. What I understand by that principle of seed time and harvest is the fact that you don't have to be sure of what you're doing, but you just have to know what you're doing. You don't have to be sure if you like this stuff or you don't like this stuff, or if it's going to work out at the end, but just know exactly what do I mean by know what you're doing. Let it be that you are not wasting time in that stuff which you are doing. If you choose to start a small business, you don't know if it's going to do well at the end. You don't know what's going to be the outcome, but just be intentional. Get the knowledge. If it's a business on sales, get the knowledge it takes to be a good salesperson. Invest in that business. Give it your all. Be intentional about it. That's your seed time. It is a principle of life, seed time and harvest. It is a principle. If you stay on it long, people talk about, I hear stuff like, especially in the country where I come from, I hear stuff like, your time will come, but they don't really understand what that means, what they mean by when they say your time will come. Like, you keep doing what you're doing, be consistent, be diligent, that your time will come. They don't really understand what that means, but what that simply means is it just zeroes down on the law of seed time, or the principle of seed time and harvest. If you keep at a thing, if you focus on a thing, if you keep at it, you are definitely gonna excel in it. Whatever you are doing, notwithstanding, are you willing to withstand the test of time? You can succeed at anything, basically. I'm on my part and I know what I'm saying. Just give me time. You guys are gonna be my witness. I'm gonna be turning up here sometime as a very, 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 very big guy. I'm definitely sure about it. It just takes time. Understand the principle of life. You understand? So your seed time is that time you are investing in that little business, doing the advertisements it takes to reach an audience, focusing on the business, focusing on how you can serve your customers better, focusing on what new goods or what new services you can render and stuff. Don't focus on it, because whatever you focus on, if your eye is single on it, and whatever you focus on, you tend to get more idea on it. That's how you keep growing. You keep growing. Just like when you plant a seed in the soil, you bury it in the soil. When the sun comes, it beats on it. When the rain comes, it saps in it. The soil saps in the seed, and the soil saps in the rain and stuff like that. By the manure, everything is just focused on the seed. With time, the seed begins to sprout up. You understand? So that's the principle of seed time and harvest. Focus on that stuff you're doing. I began finding myself by focusing on reading books. I read books. I read books to the point where, I began to understand myself. That's now the harvest time. In as much as I'm still in the process of the seed time and harvest, but you would still harvest. You don't really have to go through the entire cycle to begin realize what is going to yield the great harvest. You begin to smell it when it's about to rain. You can tell even when the rain hasn't, when the downpour hasn't yet started. You could smell the rain. You could see the changes in the cloud. So that changes are basically the changes in the mindset, the changes in the weather of your business and stuff like that. Whatever it is you're doing, focus on that. It is definitely going to pay off. Not to motivate you, but it is a principle of life. If you're going to focus on it long enough, if you are going to be diligent long enough, it is going to pay off. It is a principle in life. If you focus on it long enough, the more ideas you have, the more illuminated you are by the business. Like the more because how you started a thing, it won't always be the same way. If I began, let's say, if I began writing a book and I had just 2 ideas when I began writing the book, by the time I'm done writing the second idea, I would have had 5 more ideas. So just start. Just start from anywhere, but just be sure you know what you are doing. Just be sure you know what you are doing. Even if you're not sure of the outcome, be sure that you know what you are doing. You understand? So keep at it. Read books, take courses, get your hands dirty. Be doing something. Even if you don't have, I emphasize reading books because I can only tell you what has worked for me and my clique. I can only tell you what has worked for us, right? So this stuff has really worked for me. Books. So there's a saying that a book you don't read is an information lost. So the more you read, the more you realize you actually know less. The more you read, the more you realize there's a lot to be learned. I believe that if you're not growing mentally, you're actually dying. Even though you tend to eat every day, you're actually dying because mental growth is actually the main kind of growth, growing mentally. So long as this life, your dealings in life is concerned, mental growth is actually the main kind of growth. So get your hands dirty as a young person. Start doing something, even if you're confused on the tech, on what if you have interest in tech, or perhaps you want to go into the tech world or forex and stuff like that. Even if you're confused as to if it's going to work out for you and stuff like that, focus on it. Keep at it. You're definitely going to reap the harvest. It is a principle. It works like magic. It works like magic. So this is basically my own. Everything I'm going to be sharing on this channel is based on experiences, based on my own life as a young person navigating life, and I want to carry young people along with me. So this is how I got to find myself, still finding myself, but at least I'm no longer confused about my life. I'm no longer confused about life. So that's actually the cheat code. So get your hands dirty as a young person. Do whatever it takes. Let it be that daily you're investing yourself mentally. Let it be that every day you have something that, okay, like me, there are some things that if I don't get them done in a day, I can't go to bed comfortably. I don't go to bed until I get them done. So make sure that every day you actually grow in one way or the other. Focus on whatever it is. If it is your business, look for videos to watch on how to grow your business and stuff. And that's how you keep growing. Thank you all for your time. And I'm looking forward to seeing us in the next one. Bye, guys.